Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another Sims Info and Thoughts video. So there's been a couple of recent articles from simscommunity.info that's been making the rounds because EA has patented some technology that is related to image processing, which could possibly make recreating yourself in a video game much easier than ever. So naturally, it is easy to assume that this is going to be for The Sims 5. I mean, maybe it could be for The Sims 4, or it could be for other EA franchises entirely. I have been a bit busy with work lately, so I wanted to wait until I had some more time to actually interpret these articles, not just read them, so I could understand better, okay, what could this actually mean? Even though this is not any sort of official announcement of future content, it's a patent, a legal patent with all this mumbo-jumbo and other stuff, so I kind of wanted to be able to summarize it more for myself rather than making something that would be just like a 20-minute video or something along those lines. So starting with the first article, it says that there is a patent filed by EA in April of 2020 and approved in October 2021, which would introduce a new way of creating characters in the game through image processing. Of course, I will have both of the articles linked in the video description below so you can read the full thing at your own leisure, but after some legal text, it does say that with the patent, it was submitted by a team of developers and AI scientists that's in the lead by Igor Borovikov, who worked on games like The Sims 3, The Sims Medieval, and The Sims 4. And you can see that they are using images from The Sims 4 as an example. Below that, there is a sample workflow of how this would work. So first, you put in one or more images, and then this tool would stylize those images to match the game's art style. And then you go through multiple more steps, kind of just like processing the image. And then at the end, you can decide yes or no if you're satisfied with the final image. But if you're not, then you go to this synthetic image, which I guess kind of just reevaluates it, and then you just kind of start over from about halfway through the process. They also outline facial features that are being considered for this character creation process, like body, face and face shape, hairstyle, facial hair, ears, eyebrows, cheeks, eyes, nose, mouth, chin, and jaw. But I wonder though, would it also capture the hair color? Because then maybe if this were to be used for The Sims 5, we would at least have the color wheel again, so then we're not just stuck with the same pre-made swatches over and over again. But it is also interesting that this could be an interesting way of having more hairstyles in the game instead of also being stuck with just the pre-made ones that you have. Well, I mean, you could say that for all the things on this list, I guess, but for some reason, just their hairstyle and just hair-related things jump out at me. And they also actually did point out, it's kind of interesting how with The Sims 1 there was a tool where you could just put an image on a Sim's face, but that's what it is. It just basically puts a JPEG on the Sim's face, so it's not really like molding the image onto the Sim's face more organically. I did play a lot of Sims 1, but I don't remember ever like actually using this tool. I guess I just wasn't interested at the time for some reason. Things get even more interesting in the second article. Partway through, it summarizes this whole process of not just using a still image, but video to help create your character. And these bullet points do summarize it pretty well. So it says you'd import video and or a certain image into the technology. The technology would then retrieve and process generic 3D model and behavior data from the footage, later generating into virtual character information, including both behavior and appearance from imported media. The technology will then generate custom clothing and or accessories from imported footage onto the virtual character. So it's not just the face, but even the clothing and accessories, like what? So I could import myself, like a video of myself wearing a Sonic t-shirt and just have that in The Sims. And then with those last two bullet points, it does mention, again, you can decide whether or not you like your character's look, and if you do, you can import the character and their assets for use in the game. But yeah, even behavior. Like, this sounds like pretty advanced technology to me. There's also these two figures that talk about how the technology would automatically generate textures from the footage that you've provided. So you could be seeing a texture from a t-shirt you scanned onto a t-shirt in the game. In addition, the patent even talks about creating custom animations from footage that you'd be able to import in the game for various purposes. Like, this sounds like game developer level stuff. I didn't think that we'd ever be able to actually get to do this, possibly in a Sims game. And there is a concept with some of the purposes for the custom character animation that you capture. So this part does make me think more that, yes, this patented technology could be used for other stuff outside of the Sims franchise. Like it shows in that picture where you can set this animation as victory emote or loss emote. And the first thing I think of is Fortnite, but The Sims 5 is heavily rumored to have online multiplayer, so it's kind of a weird direction if The Sims ends up having like some competitive multiplayer aspect where you can floss on other Sims. I don't know. But then things get even more ambitious as they suggest you could also use this technology to import not just humans, but animals too. Of course, I don't think this means that we'll have pets in the base game in The Sims 5, but they're probably just patenting this technology for the animals in advance so that they can eventually get around to it and then make a lot of money once again by selling pets in an expansion pack. But with these bullet points summarizing it, it says provide media depicting an animal of your choice that you want imported in the game. The technology determines species and possibly a breed of the depicted animal, later on generating a custom appearance and behavior model from the media provided. The player decides which imported attributes they want to see in the in-game model, later storing all of your feedback, including animals' 3D model, textures, animations, and behavior for use in-game. There's also some other patents that Dancer Chip pointed out that may or may not be related to The Sims, including a generation of engaging NPCs for multiplayer, though I think this kind of sounds like The Sims Mobile as well. And also there's the possibility of a building and environment aging system, so that could be a pretty interesting thing to have in a next generation Sims game, as well as the generation of buildings on maps, and even terrain and population generation. So thanks to Dancer Chip and Sims community for talking about this. I think this is overall pretty interesting, even though at this point we don't know if this will actually become something very real for The Sims or any of EA's other games, but I find this way more intriguing than the idea of online multiplayer in The Sims. It does sound like something that would make a lot of sense to introduce in a brand new Sims game rather than trying to force it into a game that's getting closer to a decade old. However, there is still the potential issue that this could take development time away from just making a solid core game, because I do feel The Sims 3 and The Sims 4 have steered The Sims a bit away from what it originally is, so I think The Sims is in dire need of some course correction, and if they mess up The Sims 5, I don't think The Sims could ever recover from that. Well, at least in terms of reception anyways. Even with potential competitors like Paralives that are in development, I don't think The Sims will ever lose its very loyal fanbase that has kept The Sims so popular for so long. I also find it really shady that EA is patenting this stuff though, because this will also make it harder for potential competitors like Paralives to do similar things, though it's not impossible because Paralives did get around the patented technology that EA did with the whole pushing and pulling technology in like Create a Sim. So yeah, not impossible, but still very iffy to me. But that wraps up another Sims info and thoughts video, so feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on this patented technology, and be sure to subscribe if you'd like to keep up with my latest gaming content, including life simulations and more. So I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!